Recently, I went on a work trip to Vietnam and I thought to myself, you know what'd be great? Riding a bike in one of the most bike-centric cities in Southeast Asia, Saigon. Normally, folks would be frightened by the experience of crossing the road here. There isn't any semblance of traffic rules, and every square meter of space is filled with a motor vehicle just waiting to squeeze past you.
Oh shit. It's okay, they're dodging us. Hey, survive.
However, if you get past the facade of the busy traffic, you come to realize exploring Saigon on a bike opens up new dimensions to the city. In this episode of my motovlog, I'll run you folks through how one can enjoy the sights and sounds of Saigon, also known as Ho Chi Minh City, and unlock a new way to experience the hustle and bustle of this beautiful city. Since this was my first time in Vietnam, I decided to take a safer approach and learn the ways of the road from the locals first. My friends and I booked a motorcycle food tour on Airbnb since I was the only rider in my group. Now I can't imagine myself bearing two adult males on a small little 125cc cup chai or scooter around Vietnam. That would be a sight to behold. My friends and I were brought around the city by locals, and some of them were students who were just trying to earn a couple of bucks to pay for their university tuition. We got to have some really delicious food that I've never seen in Singapore before, even though there are so many Vietnamese restaurants in Singapore. My favorite dish was the bun bo hieu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please let me know if I butchered its name. But it was absolutely delicious. This was sort of like if traditional pho and tom yum had a non-spicy baby. Well, I would say that this is one of the dish that is a must-have here in Saigon. We did have a couple of other stuff like banh mi and Vietnamese rice cakes, and having them with our local guides describing their experiences of the city was certainly memorable. While riding, I did ask a couple of questions to prepare myself for the Vietnamese traffic, and my guide was really nice in telling me what to look out for here in the city.
Do you know that the district in Vietnam, they don't go by order. Like
Yeah.
District 1 and District 3 next to each other. It's not like District 1 and 2 or next to.
Yeah, we say District 4 and we cross the bridge to
Yeah.
District 1.
Don't go by order.
Next up, it was my turn to ride. Before coming to Vietnam, as a form of preparation, I actually went to do some research on the traffic laws for riding here as a foreigner. Now, honestly, there's not a lot of good information out there on this end. So I brought both my international driving permit as well as my local driving license along. With these two pieces of legal documents, I walked down to the nearest bike rental store near my Airbnb and got myself a nice 150cc scooter to kick things off. I think the funniest shit I saw in the rental agreement was a clause that hinted at it being okay not to have a license to ride in Vietnam, because apparently the locals do it too. It even mentions the fine that you have to pay if caught. I don't know how true that is, but I didn't want to risk it. The first stop after leaving the bike shop was to get some fuel inside the scooter. Being the stupid tourist that I was, I kept trying to ask about the fuel prices in English when, number one, they don't speak English, and number two, the price of the fuel was right there on the kiosk. Thinking back, I felt like an absolute fool there.
Sorry? Pay what? Oh, no.
Rồi, 910, 912 luôn.
Áo phèn. Áo phèn.
Bao nhiêu? Rồi.
Không ai ngon.
Come on. Okay, so we got the petrol.
Once loaded on fuel, it was time to hit the road and ride around the city. Halfway through the ride, I decided to make a stop to a nearby motorcycle gear shop to check out riding gear and whether they were cheaper here in Vietnam. From my knowledge, I know that several brands were produced here in Vietnam, one of them being Klim, which is something I love to wear. And if I could get it cheaper in Vietnam, why not? To my dismay, it wasn't cheaper. In fact, it was slightly more expensive than those that I buy in Singapore. Maybe it was the shop, but I didn't really have a lot of time to explore. Defeated, I left the store to continue my exploration of the city. I made a quick run by a historical building deep in the heart of Saigon, the Presidential Palace. It is an admirable building that stands with both historical ties to the Western influence and colonization of Vietnam, as well as the Vietnam War, big historical events that shaped modern Saigon. After riding a couple of hours and getting used to the ebb and flows of the traffic in the city, it was finally time to end my two-wheeled escapades. I brought the bike back to the shop and exchanged a couple of nice words with the owner.
I took it around the city. It's good. But good lah. I go everywhere. I will take videos.
And good quality.
Yeah, it's quite good. Because I don't need to like face the thing. I can, after I go home then I take the picture where I want it to be.
I see.
Yeah, because it's everywhere. Yeah, it's recording everywhere. Yeah. Alright, thanks so much, Chef.
Thank you so much.
And this brings me to the end of my memorable ride through Saigon. I do hope to come back to Vietnam in the future to attempt the Ha Giang Loop. It will probably be my next goal when I do eventually find the chance to ride up here. And with that comes the end of this motovlog. If you enjoyed it, please do drop me a like and subscribe. I'd also be happy to answer any questions regarding my experience in finding information about riding in Vietnam, as well as things to look out for. So just drop some comments down below, and as always, ride safe folks. See you next time.